Hi beautiful people, my name is Jimmy from the Webonaut. I hope you're doing good. Welcome back to the channel. Today in this video, we're going to take a look at a plugin called Bitflows and how we can integrate it with AI. This video is sponsored by BitApps. So without further ado, let's just dive in. I created a form where I ask my client what would they like for a website, and then I send this data straight to OpenAI or Chat GPT, create a prompt for it with the data collected in the previous form. And as soon as this is made, it creates a post in WordPress under the lead CPT that I created. Let me show you how I did this. It goes without saying that you will have to install the free version and the pro version from Bitflows in order to have it work properly. But let me show you how to do this. First, I created a form in Bitform. I'm not going to go over how to create that form, but just to show you, I have my Bitform Pro here, and I'm going to go to all forms, and I have a short intake form. And when you click here, I have different steps, as you can see here, and I use the shortcode in order to display it on my front end. Now we're going to use this form in order to send a prompt to ChatGPT. So how are we going to do this? We're going to use, of course, Bitflows. Let's go to Bitflows and go to flows. And first, we're going to create a flow. We're going to choose to call it intake form prompt. And then we're going to start from scratch. So choose a template. Well, we'll go from blank and create. Once we're here, we have to first select a trigger. The trigger is the event that will start the chain of events that needs to happen after, or the action, should I say. So first, we're going to select an app. And in that case, we're going to select Bitform. This is the plugin I use to create the form. We're going to click on Submit Success. And here we're going to select a form. It's called Short Intake Form. Click on there. And we're going to have to click on Listen Response. I already have my window open with the form, but basically what you have to do, fill in the form once and submit it in order to fetch the data. Here you have 2 minutes 50 now in order to complete that form. So let's do this. And then anything else you'd have to ask? No. And then we can submit. And the form is successfully submitted. So now let's go back to Bitflow. And we can see that the response has been captured. So that's great. Now we can close this. And we're going to just click here and add an action. And in that case, we're going to choose for OpenAI. But as you can see, you have many different options. Of course, you have Claude, you have DeepSeek. So you could just like use a different. You also have Gemini. So you could use any other services that you want. We are going to go with OpenAI. And that's pretty straightforward. We're going to go for create a chat completion. Okay, once we have done this, we are going to simply connect our API key. So it's really important to understand the difference between having a subscription for ChatGPT and having a subscription for OpenAI. A subscription for ChatGPT will just give you access to the different models that ChatGPT offers, where you can ask your question and get your answers, but you cannot connect it to any other third-party plugins or options. In that case, we're going to have to use OpenAI for it. So go on OpenAI, the link will be in the description, and here you can create your account, top up your credit, and it's very easy to manage. It's also very easy to create your API key, and once you're done with it, then basically we can go back in Bitflows and integrate our API key. I already created my API key, so I'm going to select a connection, but if you would have to connect your API key, you would go to add a connection. And here you can just name it differently. And here is where you put your OpenAI API key. Okay. Then once it's done, you can just click on connect. Once it's connected, then you can just select the connection needed and then select the model you want. You can select, for example, ChatGPT 4, 3.5 Turbo, 5 Nano, 5, etc., etc. So it's pretty cool. You have different options. We are going to go for the 4 for now. Max completion token, I leave it as empty, which means like the limit of the model will be used. And we're going to create our prompt. So for that, we're going to create on add message. And in the field here, we're going to use user. So I already prepared a prompt, which we're going to copy and paste here and there. And of course, you can make it as complicated as you want. Here for me, in my case, you see I have client names, and I'm going to replace those with actually the data that are fetched from the form itself. Okay, so the name is Jimmy. The project description, let's say it's more, I would like to have a modern website. Logo, brand identity, it's yes, it's ready. Then the style and the vibe. So we're not going to click on one of these, otherwise it's only going to select these, but we're going to take the form above. So it's this one. Whatever answer will be filled in that form field will be reflecting in this. Page needed, so we're going to take that off and we're going to click this one. Same as the one above, we're going to select this one and not independently these ones. Otherwise, it's just going to select those ones and not these. Website goal is to book or schedule something and add additional notes. We're going to take this one. Okay. And we have our prompt ready. So once you filled everything, we're just going to test run. Awesome. Now we can see that the test ran successfully. So that's great. We can just close that window. Next, we're going to click here and we're going to add the last action for this tutorial. We're just going to go select WordPress to create a new post. Once this is all submitted, we're going to go to WordPress, create new post, click on it. And here you can just put the title. So we're going to put lead and then we're going to click here. You can see we have different things appearing now. We're going to select the name because that's the name of our client. We're going to select the post type. In that case, I created a post type called leads. That's what we're going to select. Post status, I'll leave it to draft, but obviously you can publish it directly. You can also pending preview or private, but we're going to leave it to draft for today. Select the tag. Well, this one I chose OpenAI. You could choose whatever you want. And here in the post content, once we click here, we are actually going to put the content that just came out from OpenAI. Okay, so we have it here. And we're going to test run. We can see the test run was successful. So we can just get out here. And now it's time to try our form. So I'll just fill it in and then we can see the result. Let's submit it. The form was successfully submitted. Now we're going to go back to our post. But now if we go to the leads CPT and we go to all leads, we should be able to see exactly what we created. And as you can see, it appears right on the top of the list here. So we're going to edit it because inside, obviously, the content is going to be what is generated by Chat GPT. So let's just go and edit it. And as you can see, with the data that we filled in the form, it created for us a project brief for web design and development. How cool is that? There is obviously many ways you can use this method, and obviously the result you're going to get through ChatGPT depends on what question you're going to ask and what answer you're going to get from your client. So you can try to be as precise as possible in your questions, as precise as possible in your prompt to be sure that the result coming from ChatGPT is actually pretty accurate. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. Thanks to BitApps for sponsoring this video. And until the next time, stay sexy, keep spreading love, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!